I believe that we all should be romanced and love and have a partner and be in a group of two. That union, it's beautiful.
Hi, I'm Leslie.
And I'm Alexa B. And we're Collectively Rooted podcast.
We're the voices behind Collectively Rooted podcast. We didn't forget. My dog's in here, so my dog's in here, so
Distracting us.
yes. And let me get cozy because it's raining and I need a blankie. And
It's thundering. It's nice. We love it. It's perfect.
perfect, yes, for sure. Okay, so episode 2: how we were raised versus how we are raising.
Our upbringing and influences
Yeah,
and how we influence others.
as well. Whether we have kids or if we're thinking of kids, what we would or would not do.
Child, there's a whole list right there.
From motherhood, fatherhood too, actually, I think. And I don't know why most of the time I always hear about, what about your mother? And I'm like, well, what about our fathers? They play a big role too, regardless. No cheat sheet, which is bullet points, so we stay on track.
On track, because the way me and Leslie are, we could talk for days and then we could talk about everything and then we go back to the things and we go forward and we just need something to ground us and be like, hey, don't forget, like, you guys have at least some type of blueprint structure. We're artists.
Right.
We're very wild and free and roaming in the wind. But this brings us back to being rooted.
Absolutely, where it all begins. Okay, let's get started.
Okay. So for you, first of all, what was your birth order? Are you an only child? Are you one of many?
I'm an only child to my mother. Mm-hmm. And I'm the youngest female for my father.
Okay.
He has 2 other living children, females, that are older than me. And you?
I'm a middle child. I have, from my dad's side, there's 6 of us. He was in 2 different marriages, 3 on one, and it was, the oldest is a brother, and then a sister, and then another brother, and then now, from my mother and father, it's my sister Lily, me, and my brother Charlie. Mm. And yeah, my oldest brother is Albert, and then Andres, and then Aura. And then Lily, me.
There's 6 of you.
Yeah, there's 6 of us. It's the total Brady bunch. Always growing up, we would be like, oh, we're the Brady bunch. 2 of them live in Colombia, and the eldest lived actually with us for a little bit, I think. He was just always around, so. Yeah, so there's 6 of us, but I've always felt like total middle child syndrome. Didn't totally ignored, but also the times that I did have the spotlight on me was not good. I guess I opened the door or the can of worms for my brother to have freedom because my sister didn't. But yeah, strict parents and yeah. Okay. So how was that living as an only child?
I didn't like it. I really felt I didn't like it as a child. I thought it was weird. Why am I the only one? I don't have nobody, because all my friends had siblings. Mm-hmm. My mom comes from 7 of them, so I had a lot of uncles and aunts, and all my cousins have siblings. I'm like the only one as an only child
from your mom's,
my mom's side.
Because on top of that, they lived over there, so you don't even have anybody. Yeah.
Right. And my dad, I really didn't have much connection with him unless I was visiting there and I'd go visit him. So it's not like we have phone calls or any of that. So there was really no connection there. So it was weird to me because as an only child, I didn't feel alone. Funny to say that. There's reasons behind that, but that's for another story time. I could give you a glimpse of it. I had imaginary friends that I actually spoke to, and they spoke back, so I thought. Or they did. I was busy with that, but I still wanted a vessel to connect with. Because I only connected with my mom, which wasn't bad, but I didn't feel alone. I just felt there was more that I could. Because now as I'm older, I really like that family unity, you get together with your family and all that. And I think to myself, had I had siblings, how would that be? Just other kids around and nieces and nephews. Because I do have nieces and nephews from my dad's side, but they're over there. And I don't have a connection with them besides social media. It's not lonely because I don't feel lonely. But now that I'm older, I think about it more because I tell Frank, my husband, I am married. I don't know if I said that before. I am married.
We're both married.
I tell Frank a lot that my mom's getting older, so God forbid I have to take care of her. If God forbid she transitions before I do, I don't have nobody to bounce things off of besides my husband, but somebody that's rooted and connected to my mom. That so I have to make all these decisions, which I've always have made, but now that I'm older, I would have liked to have somebody that I can be like, what do you think? Because I asked my mom, what do you want if you transition? What is it that you want to do or whatever? She's, I don't want to talk about that. So I'm like, you're not helping because I have nobody to bounce off things with later. You're gonna make everything my decision and question my decision. That's what I don't like. I feel if I had a sibling, it made me feel better. Not her transition, just the process that I may take when that, if whenever that comes. That's the only thing that I think about now. If I had a sibling, it'd be just different. I'd have more.
Yeah. And also, like, your bring up, you could be like, oh, remember that time our parents were crazy or whatever?
No. I actually had a stepsister because the man that raised me, my stepfather, his name is Pedro, or was Pedro. He's passed on, which is who I call my dad. And when she first came around, I thought it was the best thing ever.
Were you guys like similar age or?
She's 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
So pretty close, yeah. My mom would dress us alike. When she'd be over, we would be identical. From her hair to everything. And we don't even look alike, but still, at that time, it was cute and cool. But now I look back at pictures like, who does that?
I no, that's a thing. My mom gave us the same haircut, and it was like a bowl haircut.
Yeah.
It was bad. She would dress us similar, and sometimes the same thing. And me and my sister, we look completely different. Yeah. My hair is a little bit darker now, but I was like bleach blonde, blue eyes, white as heck. And my sister's like more on the darker side, black hair, green eyes. So it's two different, I don't know, night and day. And we are night and day. Yeah. Definitely. I'm trying to think. I had a question about, you said that you would talk to an imaginary friend.
3, yeah.
3. What age was that? From what to what? Or when was your first memory? And then also, when did it stop?
My first memory of them was, I can say I was probably 4. And it stopped for me.
Were they physical? Were they ghosty? How did you see them?
I did. That's the thing that I tell you all the time. I don't see, I feel.
Okay.
And so
she's like, tell you all the time. Are you not listening? Yes, you're right. Sorry.
I'm not speaking it like that because of how you're not listening.
Oh, I'm joking.
I'm trying to figure out why is this happening. Why don't I guess the gift is just that I feel, and that's
clear.
Okay with that.
There's a clear something. One of the feeling.
I just
me too.
Feel, and I
but
felt that energy, ghosties. And it's crazy. My mom would let me. She was not against it. She was okay, cool, and I set the table for them, and it was a whole thing. And I never fed them. I just assumed they were eating like I was eating. My mom never pretended to feed them, but in my head, they were being fed in my mind. And they would respond, but not because I could hear it, but now that I know.
Is it telepathically or something?
Yeah, like so I would speak it out loud, what they're responding. And I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't know, that as a child, one just makes these things up, because the conversations we would have, meaning me and my imaginary friends, the responses, like, how would I know how to respond that?
Disclaimer and all that, just so you know that we are very spiritual and metaphysical and quantum physics, and we believe in all that stuff. But however, we have great discernment, so we'll see when people are like being authentic and when they're seeking attention or whatever you want to call it, or
just talking BS.
And sometimes like mentally something's not right there with people. But yeah, because there's probably going to be, I don't know who's going to be watching. There might be like psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever. And they're like, this girl's crazy or whatever the hell. But no, we know there's stuff there. We know there's stuff out there. And there's no right or wrong. Nobody really knows until we pass or whatever.
Correct.
But we have a feeling.
Yeah. And I remember it. I don't remember things in my childhood, many, but things that I do. And they would go to the beach with me and my mom, and they'd be there. And my mom wouldn't buy toys for them. She'd just be like, just share yours. But, and this is going to how my mom raised, my mom would always tell me, you don't share with people because they're dirty and they're going to get your stuff dirty. So I wasn't allowed to share, but she would tell me I could share with this, probably because she was like,
I ain't
there's
spending
really-
$1 on none of
Right.
your imaginary friends.
And plus they're imaginary.
Were they kids?
Huh?
In the feeling that you had of them? Were they children?
We were all the same age.
Okay.
I just remember, like I said, I didn't see him the way it was just, I had 3 people there with me, the same age, and we aligned.
It's funny because actually we always had a busy household, I want to say, but I still wanted, because I still felt very lonely. And even though I had a brother and a sister, I just felt unfelt or misunderstood or not being seen or whatever you want to call that. And I wanted not pretend friends, but imaginary friends. But also, I was actually very scared of that.
Really?
I don't want no ghosts. I don't want to hear, see nothing. Like my sister, I think she's seen a couple of things. And my brother for sure has seen things. And he also, I think he's a channeler. He just doesn't know how to deal with that stuff. And he has had night terrors and he's seen things too. And the thing is that the kind of person I am is that I see things through you telling me the story. I'm a visual. I could see it just with the way you tell it. I don't know what the word is, but I see things from outside views. So when people tell me a story, if I was there, I'm very not only inner, but I'm more outside also. Growing up, and that's going back to the same thing. I feel things, but I didn't want to freaking see or hear and a damn thing. I didn't, but I know things were around us for sure.
That's crazy because I am dying to see and hear instead of just feeling. If I could
she's brave.
I actually to this day still feel things. And I told you about my granddaughter. I have a granddaughter named Anastasia, and she's point things out, and I have to walk her through it. What are you seeing? But I can feel there's something there.
Like the other day
when I called you and told you, and I'm like, I want to see. So I would love to be able to see and hear.
The thing is, so in quantum physics, when things in frequencies and all that, when things are vibrating at a high speed, you can't see it. But you could hear high frequencies, maybe not too high, but you can hear frequencies. But when it comes to seeing it, it almost like disappears. It's going so fast, you can't even see it. Look at the wheels of the car. It starts off as 5, it looks like 5 petals of flower or whatever. And then as it goes faster, you can't even see the petals anymore. It just becomes, I don't know if we have to become of the highest frequency to see other things. But no, because people, it's just a gift, right?
That's what I call it. I don't know how else to call it.
But we all have this. It's just unlocking.
Unlocking something. That's it. That's what's I've read and listened to or seen videos of. There's not some things blocking. And there's somebody that we mutually know that has taught us things, that has multiple times we said that.
Ooh.
I don't know if it was loose.
Oh, I'm like, who do we know? Yes, of course.
She has said there's some
Luz Duque at Instagrams. If you see what that's about.
Amazing. But
she's a wonderful spiritual teacher.
When I've gone to some of her healing circles or whatnot, and she says things, that's when I'm like, oh, that's why I get answers. It's like question, and sometimes months will go by, and then she'll post she's having some kind of event or whatnot. She'll say it. And that's because you're there. When they're aligned to come to me, they come to me, and I just click and purchase and go, and I hear the confirmation or whatever I needed to hear at that time. But going back to you.
I know, because you said, Luz Duque, we're going to talk about how we raise people and how people are raising us. We're still growing. We're not children, but we have our inner child and we're still growing. And I've been working with or under Luz Duque for almost 2 years. So she's actually been raising me and I've learned so much and she's amazing. Again, Instagram, Luz Duque, look her up. But okay, going back to me and what?
So there's 6 of you.
Okay, yes.
But 3 that lived with you, your parents.
Yes, both parents, yeah.
How is that to be the middle child?
So this is my truth, because apparently everybody goes blind, dumb and deaf when it comes to traumas and stuff, right? And I'm very much, I can see that because About 2 or 3 years ago, my little cousin Nicole told me like how I used to make fun of her, and I was like, "What? I would never. I was never about." But apparently, I bullied her, and I don't remember that. I thought we were having fun, all of us,
Oh my
but I
God.
guess no. That's her truth.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that I bullied you, Nicole. I love you. But yes, yeah. Even to this day, we'll ask our parents,
Oh my God.
"Do you remember this that you traumatized me?" They're like, "No," and I'm
I
like,
don't get such a thing.
and the stories they would say, and then crazy shit. But what? Anyway, not to speak ill of anyone. Yeah, growing up, so what I remember, my truth is, I never had my own room. Charlie, my little brother, had his own room, and then I was to have my things in my sister's room. That was her room. Or they would transfer me from that to going to my little brother's room, and now I'm in his room, and my sister has her own room. So I would jump back and forth. I never had my own to have my own space at one time. I've always been with somebody else.
Got it.
So I was messy. I'm trying to just, I always say it's the artist in me, but it's a girl, get it together. I have done some Akashic Records thing, and it was like, you were a gypsy, so you're hoarding and all things. So little by little, I let go because my sister and my mom, they're both OCD. How beautiful it is here, very organized.
That's me.
And then I look at me and I'm like, how? And it has a lot to do with when I was in the womb, before that. So I know the things, which I'm not going to get into now because that's just opening another can of worms. But yeah, I never really had my own room. Going back to the way I was conceived and stuff, brought that energy to when now I'm outside of the womb, and just you have this energy that you take on of rejection and why am I here? And you attract people like bullying you or just
Right.
treating you wrongly or whatever you want to call that. And so all of my elementary, I thought I was the dumbest thing because I was told that. I was in ESC. Okay. I in all, even in classes with the bad kids, but it was because my way of learning, now that I know my way of learning.
For the people that can't see, she's putting quotation marks around bad kids.
Yeah. Oh, I did that? Oh my God, I remember. Because they're not bad kids.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
There's reasons for everything.
Yeah. And
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I saw you do that. And I was like,
no,
wait,
she's like,
one's
wait,
listening,
yes.
can't watch it.
Oh, I forgot.
Sorry, I threw you off.
No. But it was because I was believing everything I was told. I always would feel some type of way when people would be like, oh, my kindergarten teacher was so nice to me. And my kindergarten teacher was so mean to me. I was like, dude, what the hell? The only teacher that I loved I actually looked up to the most was, I had her for third grade. And then in fourth grade, instead of doing all third grades, she did fourth grade. So we stayed with the same teacher, Miss Clayton. And she was so beautiful, very feminine. But also had a little bit of masculinity about her because she's teaching. But oh my God, loved her. And I wanted to be like her. But in middle school, that's when I now had more friends, because even then I was ugly and just the ugly duckling type of thing. I'm just telling you. So this is not victim. I've already dealt with the victim mentality and stuff like that. I'm just going by my truth, and just that's how my story unfolded for me. And that's just how I saw myself. Now, I just went to a circle recently, and we talked about our inner child and how some of us couldn't even see the picture of our childhood, because we'll be like, oh my God, we don't love her. But I spoke up and I was like, I now, even though I look at the pictures, I'm like, oh, look at this little ugly baby. I love myself. I love that little baby because I love myself now.
Oh, that's what it is.
It was like there was a flip somewhere, thanks to the internet. People talk bad about internet, and yes, I get
There's
it.
good and bad to
But
everything.
if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't have found my self-confidence and so many other things. But okay, going backtrack to the middle child.
Oh, this is Biscotti, guys. Sorry, he's scratching on my leg, so I have to bring him up.
He wants
He's
to be
like
part
Asian
of
food.
it.
Go ahead.
I was very rebellious though. So for human design, a manifester from human design, which is like the ruffle feathers and the trailblazer. So my sister was very much does what she's told. The student A plus, it was hard to compete with that. She was put on a pedestal from her story that I've heard. Now I know the things, but from what I saw, she was put on a pedestal. And that's hardcore she's the oldest, and she's dealing with basically raising, because my sister basically did raise me too. Yeah, our parents were there, but she also did raise me a lot. And I'm very grateful for her. I actually love that I have siblings, because even though my oldest, and youngest, or my sister and Charlie, they're not really too close. Me and Charlie were close, and even though me and my sister weren't close then, we're very close now. But I was always, again,
Still
jumping,
bouncing, like
yeah,
a
still
balloon.
bouncing, always bouncing. And my brother, because I opened that safe passage for him to be rebellious. He was even more rebellious, worse than me. Because at least I was smart. I made sure that I wasn't killed, or I don't know how I made it alive, but I was smart about my stuff, making sure that I wasn't doing anything bad. He was crazy. But yeah, I think, yeah, we dealt with a lot of stuff because I don't really feel like speaking ill, even though it is my truth. I don't want anybody to come back and be like, oh, my parents were shit, because they weren't. They did the best that they could at that moment. And now seeing family constellations and other therapies, I noticed that that's the best that they could do. And now they're older, now they know better, and they're trying to be better, and we all are just doing what we can. Yeah. And then with my other siblings, I do feel in the family, though, it's very funny. I do have a fond remembrance of the rest of the family members, though, loved me. I do remember being really fucking liked as the rest of the family members.
As like your dad's own kid?
No, just everybody on. They loved me for some reason. And apparently, according to my mom, when I was little, I used to touch people's butts, everybody's butts. And I see that because I'm just ask my husband. But I've always, even in middle school, I would go and hit my friends' butts and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh God, I was a pervert. What's wrong with me? I would always try to pick everybody up and stuff. And yeah, but my family's cousins, aunts, everything, they loved me. They treated me good. I do remember that.
Okay.
And then we were both raised here, South Florida.
Correct. South Florida. No,
and she said Navajo. I'm actually 305.
Yeah, you're 305.
Yes. We moved, so we lived in...
Wait, did you... Because you... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you again. You said your dad was no longer with you at some point in your... Did you have a stepdad?
No, my mom...
Never reconnected.
She was like, never again dealing with men. Unfortunately, he traumatized her, and he's... we rekindled or whatever, and he seems to be doing much better, but
you can see why.
Back then it was really bad, where she's I don't love, no. I give my love to my friends and to my kids and my family and stuff. But she will never, that's what she says. But I, as a person who always speaks about love, and I've done a couple of workshops or whatever you call it, for people to manifest their partner, or I've facilitated them.
Yes.
I believe that we all should be romanced and love and have a partner and be in a group of two. That union, it's beautiful. So when she says that, it makes me really sad, because they're not all out to get you. I have an amazing partner. I really did manifest my husband, and that's a whole story.
That's a whole other story there. We're gonna do this
another time.
Yeah, but yes, she did.
But he's so amazing, and this is why I know. I also had guy friends who were amazing partners to their girls or wives, and I see it in them. And one of my brothers would cater to his wife, and they're still together. So I would see them like, no, there's men out there that are good freaking men. Not all of them are the same. No. But yeah, I think, what was the question?
If you had a stepfather, you answered it.
No, I didn't. But you did.
I did. Yeah.
And a stepsister.
And a stepsister. It's funny because it was always me and my mom. And I can go forever speaking just about me and my mom. And then all of a sudden, there was this man that came. I didn't really feel, I hear stories and I know it's TVs and shows, but I also hear real stories that people are like, oh my God, it was devastating for them. It didn't bother. I was really curious, what's this man? Who is this? I never had seen a man in my mom's life. Like I said, my dad and I never, my parents were not together when I was born or whatnot. I didn't know what that was like. She had, I don't want to say male friends as side pieces, though I wish she would have, but
yeah, you're
like she had neighbors that were men and that would, because my mom didn't have a car for a while, so they'd take us to the market and whatnot. But that was it. I never saw this intimate side where somebody have sit down. And so he had come over and we had breakfast. And at the time, I didn't realize that man spent the night.
Oh, that's the realization you got.
I just thought the man came for breakfast. No, you're fine. I thought you just came for breakfast.
No.
But that's it
He
goes to
got here
tell
really
me
early,
how
this guy.
childish, innocent,
No,
you
innocent,
know, like
yeah.
I didn't know that because I never had seen that, so I didn't know what the hell. I was like, who's this man having breakfast? So we had breakfast, and then we just spent a whole day. And a few months later, we kept seeing him. He came around, and we would go around him, and he moved in, but he was a great father, I have to say. He was. He had his issues, like everybody does, unhealed things, but and I also rebelled a lot, not because of him, just the when he's Cuban, so when he came into our family, I learned I'm more connected to the Cuban side, even though there's no Cuban in me, because once he moved in, everything became Cuban style. My mom stepped back from that. I was raised, food, everything was, we were always in Miami. And so it was always just Cuban things. I rebelled because I couldn't understand his or that the Cuban, I'm not going to say Cuban only, because I think it's the island's Hispanic, maybe, or all Hispanics side of raising or the strictness behind a female and like a daughter.
Did his daughter live with you guys?
No. So she would have come every other weekend
Okay.
and stay the
Oh, that's
summers.
right. You did tell me this the other day.
Yeah. But if I feel trapped in, I rebel. And so now I understand it, but back then I couldn't understand. I was always getting in trouble. But he was an amazing man. Like I said, even though he had his issues, he made me who I am today. And my mom, after he passed in 99, has never connected with the man again. So
that's a
and
lot
she
of
doesn't
years.
say that's because there's no love, or she doesn't like
Yeah,
their mom's
yeah.
issues. She just
hasn't happened.
it just hasn't.
But she's
happened.
open.
She says she's open, but then she's not looking. So it's like you're open for it to come knock at your door.
Sometimes you never know.
You never know, yeah.
It could
But
be
she
the
does have like incidents. She'll call me and she'll be like, "I was just at Publix and this man was just looking at me and winking at me," and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, tell me more. I love that.
But besides that, she doesn't. But yeah, that's my stepdad. So very strict for sure, but understand it. So it brings us to how we raised and motherhood, fatherhood, to how we're raising or going to be raising ourselves, children, or people around us. And I understand it now.
How were you raised? How do you feel like you were raised?
Caged is the only word I could say.
And strict parents.
Very strict. We lived in Pompano majority of my life till I was 11. And so I was third going into fourth grade. And that's when it became more, you have more friends and you exchange phone numbers. Granted, there's no cell phones or internet, any of that yet. But I would have people say, my friends, can I call you? Give me your number so I can call you. And my dad would hang up on them and I'd get in trouble for having phone calls. If they were females, I was a lesbian.
Oh my God,
yeah. They were males, I was a whore. So
you can't win. Yeah, they just want you to. Yeah.
But now I know that's whatever he dealt with. That's how he felt about, and he didn't. I'm assuming because we never had this conversation. I was not too young. I was in my 20s when he passed, but early 20s. I didn't get the chance to explore as to why that happened.
Okay.
But I'm assuming, and I feel really assured by what I assumed, that it's just because of his traumas that he had with women that I paid the price of that. But it was stuff like that. And of course, my mom would just sit back. My mom is, if there's a man in the house, he runs the show.
Oh, okay.
It's not 50-50 or we both raise. He runs certain stuff. And that's how it was. My mom, though, was the one that I did get beat. I know that's not a thing now, but I did get beat. Or I disrespected anybody. I was always told to respect, and you speak when you're told to speak. And if there's adults speaking and you're around, you walk away. As an only child, you're always around the adults because there's nobody to go play with unless they have kids. And my parents would have family over, and I have to sit there, but I couldn't say a word. It's just sit there and color or play. But my ears for sure were burning because I was listening to everything. But I could never mention it or question it, even if they were there or left or any of that. I could never ask my parents why fulanita or fulanito said this or what does this mean. It was just straight, you're just there.
A fly in the wall.
A fly in the wall. But I learned a lot as a fly in the wall.
I was going to say that's how you become wise.
Yeah,
too.
It's crazy because I really just feel that's how I learned things based on what besides what everything I went through, but based on what I heard stories of, and of course there was drinking involved. So then they got opened about their stories, and I'd be like, oh my god,
Yeah, you're like, oh, what is happening?
what is happening? Yeah, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, just listening to people. I love being fly on the wall a lot of times. Yeah, I want to know afterwards. Okay, well, the things, but sometimes you just gotta figure it out. Because then that when you figure things out on your own, it's your own. Again, going back to like
Right.
wisdom and stuff like.
And that's the thing, because granted, my step, well, I call him dad. So when I say dad, I'm referring to my step. When my dad, my father, he didn't speak English at all. It wasn't even a little bit like my mom. It was, besides curse words, he didn't know what else to say, and hi and bye. So I was my parents' translator, fill this out, complete, because there was no internet. So everything was put this in the mail. It was
How old
about
are you
personal.
then? Teenager?
No, I was
9?
10, filling out applications for certain
Oh my
things.
god.
Asking them for their social, their address, and I knew their incomes and everything at a very young age, because I was not.
Damn, that's pretty.
Because I and figure that math out for me and whatever.
Yeah. It's a blessing in disguise. Of course, you don't want to know as a child all this stuff, but now I'm actually responsible because of this. That's what happened with my sister. She was just like that. When I became an adult, I was very. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff,
Right.
Because I never had to. She was the one who had to.
I had to deal with all of it, to the point where I remember it was yesterday. My dad would only do his income taxes in Miami. There's one person in Miami. My mom one year told him to stay in Broward County, and we did, and I had to go translate that. And I got in trouble because apparently it was my fault. I must have given the wrong numbers, because why my parents had to pay taxes. So the following year, we went back to Miami, but the guy that my dad dealt with had moved. Mind you, when we would go places, because there was no GPS, not even MapQuest, none of that was out yet.
Yeah.
Was here's the address. This is how he told us to get there. Tell us on the highway when to get off and when to go left, and where's the sign for this and that. So I was doing that, and I told him the wrong way. Oh my God. That was like crazy. And if he missed his appointment, he's like, I have to pay taxes again because of you. Those are the things.
That's not cool. That's not your responsibility.
But yeah. And one year I did get my mom lost because my dad had gone there with his friend, and I had forgotten how to get there because they already had known together how to go. And one year my dad went with his friends to introduce his friend to the accountant guy, and my mom was home with me, and we're gonna go, so tell me how to get there. No address, just Leslie, remember how we got there last time.
Wow.
And I almost did, but I went the wrong way, and we were in some badass neighborhood, I don't know where, and it didn't go well. And my mom was screaming at the time. All I remember is me bawling. I'm so sorry. I have no idea where we are.
Yeah.
Things
that's
like
not
that.
your like.
I know
come
that,
on,
but
bro.
they didn't know that, and I don't blame them. Then I was like, this is so unfair.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older, they really just were trying to survive, and I was their only way.
But they gave you the full
parenthood
trust. No, they completely was like all in your hands. Here, guide us. And it's like, what the fuck? You're 9 years old.
And I think that is why to this day I still try to work on trusting people. I have to have that connection with you, like my parents had with me, feel that comfortable around you to trust. And it's funny because going back to how we were raised and how we're raising, I would tell my kids, don't trust nobody. And now, oh my God, just be open. But before my healing and all that, I was like, besides this, in these four walls, this is all you trust. That's it. Everything out there, you don't trust. I always made sure I told them, your loyalty is key. How loyal you are. And it brings me back now. It's how I was raised. Because I had to be very loyal to sit there quiet, listen to all these people talk about all their 20 problems and what they did or didn't know when my parents would go out and have people over, to the point of trusting me to get them from point A or point B, and making sure whatever we're filling out, because I don't even remember what applications I was filling out, but I was filling out shit that it went to the right person and all that. So I think that's what made me act like that towards the kids, which now I've already apologized for all that to them, but at the time, that's all I knew.
I feel like I have a great discernment nowadays, but I'm also a control freak when it comes to things. You saw from my wedding, I like told you, Nadia, my sister, Diana, very small amount of you guys did I don't know. I know that I'm in good hands because of how you guys are.
Yeah.
And That I knew I could wash my hands because I know you guys got it, but I can't be like that with everybody. But yeah, it's hard to in the learning stages now become a teacher. I'm gonna have to be more open to people and things like that, and I trust them with where they're at in their stage. Okay, so how are we raising people?
I have 2 kids. I've completely shifted in the past 5 years how I am with the kids, but initially I raised them like I was raised, except I was allowing freedom like no other. Not like crazy or none of that. Oh, here, just go on in the streets and do whatever. But
Letting them figure it
oh
out.
my God, invite all your friends.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that.
Okay.
My friend wants to come over. Invite everybody.
No.
I was, because I was never allowed to spend anybody's house. And I was the same way with both my kids.
Good. Now that we know, we're like, oh yeah, we're not freaking doing that. Yeah. But before we're like, why won't they let me sleep over?
So I was allowing phone calls. I think the way I raised them, I did give them chores. They had responsibilities and chores. I didn't do like my parents did, where you handled like finances and any of that, nor did I push it. I did say, you have to know how to manage money and stuff, but I never sat there and made them do anything about that. And I do think, Angelica, I wish you were more like telling me how to manage my money properly. And I nowadays, because I know the school doesn't teach you that, I wish I would have, but I was so in my head about how nobody taught me. I just had to learn it from my parents, their checkbook and all that, that I don't want to bring that on them. That was so stressful for me. Who wants to stress a child out like that?
Yeah, but nowadays, there's this book series called the Something Twins. I'll look for it while you continue to talk. But they help bring it down to a level for a child to know. So I like these books because I'm a child. Teach me how to deal with this responsibility stuff of adulthood. But I think it's pretty cool. It's called the something with a T Twins.
And as far as Dacia, my granddaughter, I don't raise her. Obviously, she has a mother and father, but I do take care of her Monday through Friday. So she's most of the time in the daytime with me while the parents are at work. However, with my kids, I was constantly do well in school and make sure you have great grades, and I did always tell them you don't have to go to college, where my parents were like, you have to go to college. You need a degree. Mostly my mom. My dad wasn't so much for it. My mom was, you need a degree, you need a degree. The kids, I didn't. As long as you get through high school, you don't just quit high school or just finish high school and not do anything, but you don't need to go to college or do a tech school or figure some kind of career out, but you don't have to go get a 4-year degree or any of that. I was open about that. For Anastasia, though, I don't believe now. I don't believe in the public school at all. And I'm glad my daughter aligns with that and we homeschool her. She's only 2, but we're slowly introducing things to her at home. And I do believe a child needs to be outside more, not caged. I call it caged in an environment for 6 to 8 hours a day and just looking at books. And she's learned a lot. Granted, as she gets older, there's going to be a different type of curriculum based on her age and where she's at. And I know I have to follow some kind of curriculum for the homeschool for the county we're in, which I'm okay with that. But I just don't think the school system, and I apologize for all the teachers out there because I think they're angels, the correct ones, because there are some that are out there for I don't know what. But the teachers that actually love to teach children, I feel bad for them because they don't get paid enough to deal with all these kids. Some of them have 40 kids. How do you teach 40 kids?
It's insane.
That's 40 personalities and attitudes and everything.
And then to get them all to, and then going back to how we were talking, I will not thrive in that type of, I can't.
No, and my daughter didn't. When she was younger, Angelica, I would be like, you have to figure this out. You have to figure this out. You have to, I don't know who we have to call and tutoring and all that. And I'm like, why did I waste her and my time so much? And I've apologized to her. And I wish I would have known what I know now then, because I would have just pulled her, because she was in ESC and all that as well. You have to get out of this ESC. This is just, they're just labeling you and this and that. She's more of, you just have to pull me aside, give me one-on-one attention for 2-3 hours, and I got it.
Yeah, same.
I can't sit here and stare at a book for 2 hours or 3 hours and then go to the next class and do another hour. My brain just stops.
I learn by example. The book series is called The Twins. It's a boy and a
T-U or
girl.
T-O?
Tuttle. The Tuttle Twins.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about you? How do you raise others? Would raise your children?
So I'm not a mother in that sense of I've birthed, but I've always been an auntie, basically the godmother without the whole ceremony of raising children. And I've noticed it's fluctuated, but I've always been both the stern slash but playful adult with them. So almost a coach. I like to say PE coach, even though I don't do any things right now with physical education stuff. But I've always been stern, where there has to be some type of, hey, respect, this, that, the third, whatever, routine with the children, but also, okay, let's play. Let's be wild. Let's be crazy. And sometimes even getting in their level of, as if I'm a child a little bit too much. Because then I'm like, okay, chill out. I'm competing against a child now. But in a playful manner where it also helps them, because not that it's bullying, but it's just shaping them a little bit. Like in the real world, kids are a little, so come on, let's be like this. But I do feel they need both some sternness, just so that they have a foundation to look at and be, okay, there's a foundation, but let them be free too and wild and be a child and innocent and pure. So that's how at least I feel that I've helped raise children in that sense.
Because you have a nephew that's Lily's son, and then you have a niece or two nieces?
I have for my little brother's side, there's two girls and two boys. And then there's an extra little girl that we are not able to get in contact with the mother because she just disappeared. We know she's alive, but she just doesn't allow us in. Plus, she doesn't want to get the paternity test.
Oh, okay.
So there's, things there.
The whole side drama.
Yeah.
But then you have Andy as well.
And then I have Andy. And then I've also helped raise friends' kids too.
Aww.
And there was a time that I was raising my brother's first two children. And then I have nieces and nephews from my older siblings. And then I have my husband's stepdaughter, his grandson.
Okay.
And helped raise him for 3 years, going on 4. So yeah, there's been a lot of raising other people's children, and then also raising teenagers around me, going to the permaculture classes and having to be, again, the stern, but also let's have fun. This is what we're doing.
Because you did or do the gardening with the kids too, right?
I did a couple of things. I did in UFI, I did some classes where you teach children, like little toddler children. And then I did the micro school, which are basically 6th grade to 9th grade type of thing or deal. And then what else? I feel like there's more somewhere. There's more children around there. But yeah, for the most part, that's what it is. And then everywhere I've gone where I go to parks and stuff like that, or I don't know, like kids get attracted to me. They'll come and play with me. And I'm like, yeah, let's freaking play. Let's do this. Every time I've gone to parks, especially in my younger years when I was in my 20s and done things with it, I would attract all these kids. What is it called? The Peter Piper, the one with the little thing and all the kids. But I'm not luring them anywhere. We're playing. And that's the one aspect that I love about myself is my inner child. I still watch cartoons and very playful. Me and my husband were very playful. So yeah, I
do think I wish I was more childlike with my kids, and even with Anastasia sometimes it's really hard for me to be that child, bring myself down to their type of level. I can't connect it. And the more I think about it, it's got to be just the way I was raised. I really didn't have that innocent childhood, the whole childhood experience. I do a little bit here and there sometimes, but it's really short. I can't go beyond this point.
No, me too. I'm like, okay, I gotta go back to my adulthood.
My adulthood. Do you feel anything, the way we were raised compared to how we are raising each other, one another, our children, whatever, other children, why do we want to do different in that? Why is there such a calling for that?
And I want to speak for myself because that's just me. Definitely the way I was raised, I wouldn't wish that for anybody. However, going back to not to contradict myself, I'm here the way you see me. That was part of me.
Right.
That was what shaped me to be
Right.
me. Having to listen here and be, oh my God, are they mad? Oh shit, are they coming? Oh my God, they're gonna beat my ass. Things that developed an empathy in me where now I look at you and I'm like, I can tell there's something wrong. Just talk about it. Let's talk about it. And I feel what we do as humans or humanity is that most of us want to help the other person. Hey, let me help you get from A to B or from A to C faster. Because how I was raised, it took me a long time and there was a lot of trial and error, and I can help you get there faster. So I feel when we're raising people, we're like, let me raise you in a way, not faster, but like in a better way that you don't have to suffer.
Try to avoid the in between.
Yeah, you don't want to suffer. You don't want to, yes.
Suffering.
Which no matter what,
You're gonna face trauma. Yeah.
you're always gonna be a trauma in somebody's. You're always gonna give somebody trauma. Always. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
My sister, I think we were talking about it. Maybe I don't remember. I just recently heard her talking to somebody about my kid has everything you could ask for, but yet he's still, but why, mom? Why didn't have, there's always gonna be a trauma.
Yeah, there's always gonna be an issue with them.
What do you feel? How do you feel?
I just always wanted to make sure that for my children and now for my grandchild, and I know for sure for any future grandchildren, I don't want them, like you said, to experience anything I experienced or the in-between of it at all. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I'm like you, let's just do it this way. Not my way, because obviously you have to build yourself to it. But let me just help you or try to guide you this way.
If we're gonna stay, okay, we're all going in the slow pace, which slow pace is good, but also we need to evolve.
Exactly.
I do want to talk about, so we're raising all the people, but the people who are raising us. So I want to say all my friends are raising me right now.
Absolutely.
And sometimes I need to channel Leslie in a way of when it comes to this, that, and the third. If I need to channel somebody who is really good with boundaries, because I need to give people boundaries or set the boundaries, I need to channel a friend who has raised me in the year or two that I've known them. They've taught me this is how we set boundaries, babe. And then they also said, people set boundaries with me and I learned from that. So I have to teach my husband to set a lot of boundaries too. And even with me, because sometimes I respect you a little bit more if you say no. I cannot.
Thank you for you guys. Nobody can see it.
Oh my God.
My two dogs are in here. I have a Schnauzer, which is Daisy, and Biscotti that you guys met. And they're always trying to compete amongst dominance. And if you know what dogs do when they're trying to get each other's dominance, that is happening in front of us right now. So we're trying to speak about this.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that's on that.
I'm actually happy because now my husband, he does say no and when it counts. So I'm like, not only just for me, but for others too. You have to. And so going back to like Luz and being raised for 2 years or whatever. Actually, it was since 2021 that I started with her, but
I was gonna say, it's
the
been
the apprenticeship thing was almost 2 years. Oh my God, she taught me so much, and to value myself abundance wise and to value myself, my work, my time, all the things.
I agree. It's something beautiful and amazing. Just
seeing her on her social media, you could feel it. Because that's how I was attracted to her. Because one of her students told me about her, and I was like, let me look at her, and I was like, oh my God, she's radiant. And that is, it just crossed. I could feel her energy, type of thing.
Yeah.
And it attracted me to her, and a lot of people say the same thing because they feel it. She's the most authentic shaman that I've physically met, because I've met others and I'm like, there's something that I just don't connect with. There's something off here. She has been in the trenches. She was actually naturally born with the gifts, but then pursued years of knowledge, years of listening, years of shadowing others and the elders and chiefs and things like that. So she knows her stuff.
I agree with you, because before I got too loose, you or Lily probably shared her because before I got to meet anybody else in the community, I was just with you guys. And then one of you two must have shared something of her. I've met other types of shamans or whatever you want to call them. And I can feel there's no authenticity there. I can feel it's, I don't know, something's
There's
off.
something off, yeah.
Yeah. Just like you said, it's something off.
Yeah. Okay.
There's how we were raised versus how we're raising. Thank you so much for listening to us.
We're going to be having guests.
Stay tuned for the dates and for who they are and what the topics will be on.